Hey guys, welcome back to another 100 days video, and this is part 2 from this video. So if you haven't seen that one, go check it out, link is in the description. Before this video starts, I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so leaving a like and subscribing would really be appreciated. Anyways, enjoy the video. Okay, first day, I started these 100 days off by shaving my sheeps. Because I was planning to go into the nether to farm for netherite, and for that I wanted to use beds, because I didn't have gunpowder for TNT and I also didn't really have a lot of sand around me. And I spent the rest of the day on watching how my steak is being cooked, but don't worry, I also already made the bed, so I didn't have to do that the next few days. And on day 102 I went into the nether and I started to mine down. The most annoying thing about everything was me trying to find that perfect spot to even go down, because lava lakes, we love them, don't we? But yeah, I eventually found a good spot and yeah, I started to blow up the nether for netherite. On day 106 I finally came home and I smelted all my netherites, and then I actually made them into netherite pieces, and I only had 3 pieces, which is okay. I was mainly struggling in the nether with lava lakes anyway, so I upgraded my gear, I upgraded my helmet, my chest plate and my boots, because I only had 3 pieces of netherite. And I spent the rest of the day on farming, because I had a lot of farmland without seeds, so I felt like filling that up. On day 107 I started to plan on building something, and for that I needed a lot of wood. At the end of the day I didn't even have enough wood, but I farmed for wood. I chopped down trees. That's what I did all day. And I also, by the way, breeded my cows, because I like steak. And on day 108 to 111 I started working on a villager trading hall. On day 112 to 113 I didn't quite finish the trading hall, so I needed a bunch of more stuff, which was wood, and I also had to actually go into the nether for glowstone. Because, yeah, you know, it's needed. And I also shaved sheep for the beds for the villages in there. But the main thing I wanted to get glowstone is because I don't want to have everywhere torches around, and I feel like, you know, glowstone is a good solution. And on day 114 to 117 I tried to get the villagers into their place, and man, it's really annoying to work with villagers. I don't like it, it's one of the things I'd rather not do, but I just have to. But I got the villagers into their place and I gave them some bread, and then I had to finish the trading hall. I started to place glowstone. And yeah, it was almost done, so that was pretty nice. And then I also started working on a place where the villagers were staying, which was like right next to the hall itself. Because otherwise it just looks ugly in there. And I was bored. Oh yeah, I got a heart attack from a creeper. Yeah, good times. On day 118, I first off fixed the house. I don't know why my sound is off, by the way, but I apparently turned it off there. But yeah, I fixed my house from earlier events. And then I started to chop down trees, basically. Well, not all day. I did some other stuff as well. But I was planning on building something, and for that I needed wood and andesite. So I had to also go down into my mine. In case you're wondering why my pickaxe or anything else sometimes shows up white, it's because of the shaders and me being on Bad Lion, so yeah. And on day 120 to 122, I started working on a barn. It was finally time to trade with my villagers, so I got the first villager into his new place, and I made the first one a Fletcher. Well, I first made it a Liberian, and then I was like, wait, I need stakes trade, so let's make it a Fletcher instead. And then I got the second one into his place, which became the Liberian for a mending book. Well, that was the goal. It took me a decent amount of time to actually get the trade. But yeah, we eventually got it. Eventually. It was only 24 emeralds, so it wasn't that expensive. And then I got myself a second Fletcher, so I can get more amps faster. And then I started to trade sticks with them, so I can actually buy my first mending books for I don't know what. I just bought them and I didn't really use them in the beginning. But on day 126 to 127 I started to chop down some more trees because I was planning on getting more mending books, which means more stick trades. A lot of trading these 100 days, just letting you know. And I got myself a bunch of more Fletchers actually, because 2 weren't enough. No, I needed more. I got myself eventually 5 Fletchers, which was really nice actually, because man, I got a lot of emeralds from this. And I bought myself some more mending books, so I can eventually, you know, put all the mending on my gear, like my weapon and all that kind of stuff, which I did. I put all the mending books on my items. Don't mind me, by the way, trying to get mending on my bow. I tried to cut that away, but I failed. On day 130, I started to breed my cows and then kill them because I was running out of food. I really wasn't. I just felt like killing, honestly, but yeah. I also got the sheep into their new place, and then I also got the cows into their new place. The cows were a bigger pain because they were like a bigger pack. Anyways, I went into the nether on day 131 so I can go kill withers, or like wither skeletons, so I can get those skulls. That was just the biggest struggle. I spent so much time in the nether and I only got 1 skull. That was just quite disappointing. But then again, barely any skeletons really spawned, so I felt like it was just the fortress not really being that great. And I did have looting 3, by the way. So I went into the nether, the end, because I had a plan. I had a plan, but for that I need an elytra. So I went into the end to get one. It always gives me anxiety when going through it, because they always spawn you on an edge. Well, that always happens to me, so I'm kind of scared to always go there. But I had my chunks all the way up, so I can eventually, you know, see where the ships were and all that. And I eventually found 2 cities pretty close to each other, which is nice, because I also wanted to have shulker boxes. Because that's just nice, you know? Great to have those things. So I killed a lot of the shulkers. You know, for their shells, so I can make shulker boxes. Which I spend like most of the time on, because getting a elytra is not really that hard. I think the shulkers are a bigger pain than the actual elytra. But yeah, you know, the other pain is getting to the ship without getting levitation. Yeah, levitation from the shulkers. But I eventually got to the ship and I got the elytra. In case you're wondering why the item frame is tripping like that, it's probably because I have shaders on still, or it's because I'm on Bad Lion. I don't know. Oh yeah, I also took all the loot. But I also took the second elytra in case one ever breaks or I just lose it randomly. Should throw it into something, who knows. Oh yeah, I also took the dragon head. I don't know why, I just did that. Then I actually was just making my chunks even higher, and I found another another city. I did not go there, but I did save the quartz. In case I want to go there for more shulker boxes. And then yeah, I ran back home. It was I wasn't really looking that long, to be honest. I got it pretty fast, which is really nice. Okay, yeah, so I was planning on building something, because now I have a elytra, I needed rockets, which means gunpowder, which means I need a gunpowder farm. Making that thing was a bit of a pain, but getting the items for it also. Like, I needed strings for the bows, for the dispenser, so I had to go into a mineshaft to actually get string, because I didn't really have much. But yeah, I eventually got all the dispensers I needed. I also needed observers. It's a good thing I did take some quartz with me home. Normally I just throw them out. But the main thing I really needed was wood. Because of the trapdoors. I'm building the farm from Shulkercraft. I think, yeah. Which is a really nice farm. I made it more on more worlds, to be honest. And I'm also still on 1.17 here. So yeah, I don't know if it works in the newer version, but we'll see. I think it does, but we'll see. Oh yeah, I also needed glass. So I didn't even know where to find the desert. So I just took it from the shore. Ruined the land. No. And yeah, more cutting down trees. For trapdoors. Man, I hate those trapdoors. I really do. Yeah, I eventually made them. I had a decent amount of trapdoors in my inventory, it was crazy. Like the stuff you need for this. But if you're interested in this farm, you can check link in the description. I actually have the link to this farm into the description. Because I'm not creative enough to actually make my own farms. I just have to use them from others, because I don't know, man. And yeah, I started making a gunpowder farm somewhere in the middle of an ocean. On day 154, was that right? I don't even know. I just AFK to check the farm if it works really well, and you know what? It actually did, kind of. It kind of worked right. I'm not really loving AFK, like AFKing in my world, because I just want to make every day count, but at the same time I needed gunpowder, okay, so that's why I AFK'd. And you know what? It really works well. It really wasn't a bad farm, so I love this farm. I really do. Got a decent amount of gunpowder for only one day of, you know, AFK. And yeah, I actually also started to remove the fallen portal pretty close to my house because it was looking ugly. Okay, yeah, I went into the nether for another try for getting skulls from the same fortress, even though I already gave up on it, but I don't know, I just went to it. I was like, do I really need to look for another one? Does this one not work? But no, it really didn't. As you can see, it just... nothing spawns. I was already there for this amount of time. Eventually, though, I found this place with 3 wither skeletons, but... that's all I found in a day. I've been walking here for this amount of time and only 3 wither skeletons spawned. So it wasn't worth it and the day was just wasted. So I went home. So I had a plan, which was to first chop down some trees for sticks so I can get the stick trade. Cause my elytra's breaking, so I needed to fix it. So you can probably already guess what I'm trying to do. I try to get mending. Yeah, I try to get mending. And man, do I love Fletchers. It's just so easy. It's such an easy way to get emeralds. I love it. I bought myself a mending book and I went home and I put it on my elytra. And then went into the nether to first mend my actual elytra, which I did with quartz. Because that was the only XP I really could get. And then I started to fly to look for a a fortress. I did find a decent amount of bastions, but no fortress, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, I even got a very cool achievement. Very cool, very useless as well. I should really try to build some more with those warped stuff. I really like the color blue from it. I don't know, it gives it a cool vibe. But still no fortress, so we have to keep looking. It gives me almost anxiety just flying over a lava pool. I don't know, it just does. I hate it. But I eventually went into the soul sand biome and I saw this fortress. I wasn't above a lava lake, which was my original goal, but it's fine. As long as it has skeletons, right? Which it did. A lot, actually. I was really thinking I would die here. I'm not even going to lie. I really thought I would die here. It was just packed with, like, blazes, and you couldn't snipe the blazes because there were too many pigmen around. And if you shoot a pigman, you can just say bye. You're just going to die. But my first skeleton I actually killed got me a second head. I also finally, like, at least lighted up one of the blaze spawners, but then I was like fully surrounded from everywhere by blazes, so I dug myself like down. And then a wither skeleton apparently followed me, so I actually got him, you know, in front of me. And I killed him, and he actually dropped a third head. Which is quite lucky. So yeah, I just dipped the place. I didn't like this fortress at all. It was just crowded with blazes and everything. Oh yeah, I wrote down the quartz so I know where to find my portal. It's a good thing. Okay, so the next few days are going to be messy. I do know that. But on days 161, I actually went to the end to kill the wither there, because I don't like killing the wither in the hard way, okay? If there's an easy way, we're going to take the easy way. Like, I don't like the wither at all, so... I just, you know, went for the good old trick. Replacing him under the portal in the end. Which was, it's just the best thing to do in my opinion. I don't feel like losing this world, you know. Yeah, I spawned the wither there, waited for it to charge up. Yeah, I started to kill him. I don't know if punch would have effect on this trick, which was quite scary the first time I hit him, but it didn't. Good thing. And on day 162 to 164, I started to chop down trees for stick trades, because we needed emeralds. And yeah, if we now have the star that we needed for a beacon, that means we need now a fully charged beacon, which means emerald blocks or any kind of block. Yeah, so I was basically now aiming for a fully charged beacon, which was a pain. Yeah, like I said, these few days are going to be messy because I was like all over the place. Like, I don't even know what I need to say about this. I was just all over the place. I was then in a mine. I was then just again chopping down trees. I was then again trading. It was just, I don't know, man. It was very messed up. But yeah, I first started up quite nicely. I was like, okay, I'm just going to chop down trees and then trade. But eventually all the guys started to charge me more, so I was like, okay, this is not really going to be it then, I guess. I also found a place where I wanted to have my beacon, which was like right between the two houses that I have. I think it's a quite decent place to have a beacon there. We can eventually try to get more of those. I think one right now is enough. And yeah, more trading. They still had a discount, but eventually they all started to charge me a stack. And I don't really have that villager, like, zombie trick yet, so... I guess I just went to iron. I was like, okay, now that I'm going into mines, we're going to get iron. Which is a good thing, actually. Because going into mines actually helped me with something. But I also randomly just started taming wolves. I don't know. Okay, don't question it. I got so bored, I guess, of trading and mining and chopping down trees that I was like, I'm going to get 5 dogs. But I also eventually started to use my iron and gold actually on this. Because I felt like with how it was going to be very slow. Because I didn't have any farmers. I didn't have any automatic potato or carrot farm. So I felt like this was kind of the only fast way to do it. Yeah, it was, you know, I explored a decent amount of stuff, actually. It's just cool, you know, it's nice. I eventually actually also found a spawner. More, actually. You will see that soon. Here is actually where I found one. I don't know if I even took that iron over there, because it was above the lava pit. But, I found a spawner. And there were a lot of zombies around there, so I couldn't really reach it from the cave I was in, so I kind of was like, okay, where is it sort of at? And I started to mine towards it so I can light it up and kill the zombies there. Yeah, I eventually found that spawner. I was pretty accurate with mining there. And I started to kill those zombies, and then I started to light up the place. And I was saving the quartz, because, I mean, come on. XP farm, it's quite nice. Oh yeah, I still didn't really learn how to fly. Yeah, I still suck at it. But once I got home, I started to cook more of my raw iron. I really like how iron, like how Fortune 3 now has effect on it as well. I don't even know what I would have done without the Fortune 3, honestly. Yeah, you know, I actually got a decent amount done on my beacon. And eventually I was like, okay, I need to change. I'm doing too much of this. So I started to plan on making a XP farm of the farm, like the spawner I found. So on day 176, do you say it like that? I have no idea. I started to farm stuff for the XP farm, and on day 177 I started to make the farm. I still needed a lot more iron for the beacon, but I actually managed to find another spawner when I was looking into caves for a, for iron again. It was a spider spawner, which I don't really know if that's useful, but you know what, it's nice. And very close to it, like very close to it, there was another one, which was a zombie spawner. I also kind of saved where it was, but I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do something with it. Because all I really now needed was iron anyway. I also started to mend my pickaxe and my elytra at the XP farm. It works pretty well. In my opinion, I think it just works pretty well. It's not like one of the best XP farms, but it's okay. It works fine. Yeah, I started to trade more sticks for emeralds because I was almost done with the fully charged beacon, which was like at the moment still my only goal. And I eventually got all the blocks that I needed, so I made myself the beacon and I started to fill up the last bits. And yeah, you know, we got a beacon. Quite nice. And of course I don't know how these kind of things work. I gave it like an item, so it gave me haste, but I was like, where's my region? Well, I just figured out I needed to also click on the region, which I didn't do, so nice. It's big brain time. Yeah, I started to chop down some more trees, and I also shaved my sheeps again, because I still needed more netherite. So you can probably already guess what I was doing. What I was going to do. Because I wanted to have my sword and my pants at least on netherite as well. So yeah, I started to look for it. I was these days actually way more luckier than the first few days, but that's probably because I didn't bother fighting with a lava lake, which I did the last time, which was quite stupid. I also found a lot of blackstone, blackstone veins, which is nice because I'm planning on something. Because at the time of doing this voiceover, I'm already working on the 300 days, which is quite nice because blackstone, we need that as well. But yeah, we got a lot of netherite from this, and I also felt like getting a bit more, which I eventually started to, do this because I ran out of beds. And I found from doing this just randomly 2 more pieces, which is nice. So I went home and I started to cook my netherite into actual netherite scraps so I can make netherite pieces of it. I think I can make like now 5 netherite pieces if I remember that correctly. Yeah, I can. So I started to upgrade most of my stuff, including my tools, because I had enough anyway, and hey, look at that, another achievement. But yeah, I also upgraded my pickaxe and a diamond axe. Quite nice. I spent 3 days AFK at my gunpowder farm because I wanted more gunpowder, and I also wanted to do this now so I wouldn't have to AFK in the next few days, like when I'm starting on the 300 days, that I don't have to AFK then. Let's see, I'm thinking forward, okay? Yeah, you know what, it works really well, as you can see. I just had to show it. I don't know why, but it works really well, especially at night. I love it. So yeah, at day 190 I actually went to my XP farm. I once again turned off my sound. I don't know why. To mend my elytra and my pickaxe. Okay, so once that was done, I went to my villagers and I wanted to get a unbreaking book, a unbreaking trait for my elytra, because my elytra was still breaking pretty fast, which is not really that nice. But I eventually got unbreaking 2, which is okay. I was like, you know what, fine, I'm just going to buy 2 blocks of that and just stack it up. I think that's fine to do, you know. So yeah, I stacked those two ups to Unbreaking 3 and I put it on my Elytra. Which is nice. And I started to work till the last day on a bunch of things. I was first of all planning on making a castle, which I'm going to do on this hill. Then I made a path, and after that I made a farm. So yeah, enjoy the replay. I placed the last bits of carrots that I had on the first layer, and yeah, you know what, I already ran out of time, but at least I finished, you know, the farm itself, just not the crops on it. And yeah, you know what, cheers to another 100 days, guys.